Hey guys, so new hoodie. This year I'm working on shirts, apparel, hats, making them better, accessible, something I can stand behind. Had some problems in the past, really working on that this year. My last chemical from OG came in. This is PnS Express Interior Cleaner. I talked about it in the mini cleaning. So if you haven't watched that video, watch that video. It's a really good one. I really like this quite a bit. I have about a half a gallon left, but this is my backup. As I mentioned, I was kind of stocking up for this year. I picked this up. This is a light from a company called Lumecube. They make the studio lights, the big stand lights that I showed in a previous video. This is a camera mount light. It's just designed to, you know, kind of be a mounted camera light. So this will be what I'm using when I'm underneath cars in the future, mounted to the camera. It's really cool. It's kind of waterproof and shockproof. It looks like a Rigid Industries, like a light bar light, like I think it was like a D1, D2, something like that. I used to have them on my Razor, but it's just a basic mount. It has an app, so you can connect to it with your phone. You can adjust the color, temperatures, and brightness and stuff right from your phone, which is super cool. And then there's also adjustments right here, plus and minus, brightness and dimming. It also comes with, it's got like a magnetic front on it, and it comes with these, this is like a warm filter, and this is like a diffusion filter, and you can use one, the other, both, whatever you want to. So you'll see this being used in the future to hopefully make my videos better. I picked these up. So I'm going to be doing brakes on the Mini, and one of the things that I've run into in the past is the brakes on the JCW are so large that my 17-inch wheels have very, very little clearance between the wheel weights and the brakes, the factory brakes. So I actually, I had a flat tire at one point. I got a replacement tire, got it installed locally at a shop that's here, and they used a little bit thicker wheel weights than the ones that Tire Rack sent me. So I have one wheel that I can only use on the back right now because it'll actually hit the brake pads, like the little pins that stick off of the brake pads, it'll hit them on the front. So I ordered these from Amazon. The brand name is CK Auto, but they are like a 3mm thick weight. And they're just 1/4 ounce weights. And I got like a pound of them, 5 pounds of them, 60 ounces. So I picked up a bunch of them. I'm gonna pull the weights off of this, just off of that wheel that's messed up, and put these on. And then I have these in the future, so when I buy my next set of tires and I get them mounted and balanced here locally, I can just give them weights and be like, hey, use these low profile weights so that I don't have problems with my brakes. I'm thinking about doing some different wheels because I have to get tires anyway. Thinking about going to an 18-inch Neuspeed wheel. So I'll post a couple options here, and let me know in the comments below if you think that I should switch it up or if I should just keep my wheels that I have on it right now, which are right here. I picked this up. This is a tool, this again, another CK Auto tool, but it's a chisel for removing weights. It's completely plastic. It has this back that you can impact, but I'm hoping that it makes it easy for me to get my weights off without screwing up the wheel. I have other plastic pry bars and different things like that, so I know I'll get the weights off, but we're gonna try this out. We're gonna see how it works. So you'll see this in my brake video. So another thing that I talked about in the past, and I'll do a separate video on this, this is the Braun detailer inspection light. It's 95 plus CRI according to the packaging. I don't know that it's actually 95 plus CRI, but it does have a very nice clean light. It has several brightnesses. Looks like it's 1, 2, off, so 2 brightnesses, which is obviously several. It's got this nice charging stand, which is wall mountable. And by nice, I mean very basic, but it was like 30 bucks. So if you're looking for an inexpensive detailing light, this is a pretty cool option. And for as cheap as it is, I don't know how long the battery will last, but you could totally buy 2 of these, have one on the charger while you're using the other one, and never not have one potentially. But it works well. We'll do a full video test and we'll compare it to the Milwaukee that I have as well as the Scan Grip. I cleaned out my Milwaukee cabinet here. Just removed a bunch of tools that were redundant, corded, things I didn't like, use, whatever. So you can see this is kind of everything that I actually do like and use. I got rid of my corded heat gun. I got rid of my, I had a corded jigsaw, a couple other, my corded Sawzall. So now that I have everything cordless, I think that's awesome. have a lot more space. I removed a shelf from here, so that actually looks really good. If you didn't watch the recent Swisstrax video, I did Swisstrax in my little storage room here. So this is completely done. Swisstrax, Ribtrax, Smooth Pro, slate gray, black borders, all the way around, and did my cuts and everything. Did it without a table saw. Tack has been working on the Miata. So we worked on the power window is kind of sluggish going up and down, so he ordered some different bushings for it. We changed out the power window regulator. Doesn't seem to solve the problem. He has an issue with the top has like a rusted bolt here that he has to fix. It's making it rattle around. We're gonna put a stereo in it, so we're gonna do probably a Kenwood head unit and just a pair of 6.5-inch speakers, maybe components, probably coaxials. He was in the process of changing the oil pump, so took the head off of it. He's gonna do a new head gasket, new head studs, new oil pump, and these guides need to be replaced as well. So we're just waiting on the very last part to come in, which is the oil pump. So he's going to tomorrow get this unbolted from the transmission so that we can pull the bottom end of the engine out. And then he picked up this engine stand from Harbor Freight, which actually is not terrible. We put this together tonight in about 10 minutes. Pretty easy to do. There's some adjustment in length. You can actually like bring that bottom rail in and out. And then this is where obviously the engine mounts, and you can flip it over. And then it's got like this pin to lock it into place. So it's very basic, but it was like $100. So he's just gonna use it. When he's done with it, we'll sell it. It'll be gone. Some garbage he left me. I'll have to get rid of that. And then, yeah, and you can see, you know, here's his head, which looks good. And then you can see his lower end of his engine looks good. There's not a lot of scoring or anything like that. Everything looks nice and clean. So he's just got a little bit of an oil leak, and it's either from the front pan seal, which is kind of down behind the front pulley right there, or it's the oil pump and where the oil pump mates to the block. So he's just gonna take care of both all at once. These came in today, so these are actually really cool. These I ordered from ECS, but they are factory Mini Cooper parts. Part number's right there, 514724692125. And these are floor mats, Mini JCW for the F55, F56, and F57. So that's the 4-door, the 2-door, and the convertible. So you can see this is the driver's side, and this is the passenger side. There's a little bit of fuzz on them I have to clean up, but they're brand new. Get those installed. Show you what they look like inside the car. Here they are installed. You can see this is the passenger side. There's a little bit of fuzz I got to vacuum up because they're brand new, but I think they look great. Nice red stitching. Matches the rest of the interior. JCW here on the side and leather. They come with the little Velcro pads. So if you don't have the factory pads because you maybe lost one or something, they come with replacements. And they're about $125 for a pair of mats, which, you know, it's carpet, I get that, but it's also pretty reasonable for mats. Here's the driver's side, as you can see. And really I just changed it because the factory ones were a little beat up, and they have like 50,000 miles on them. So you can see they're just kind of like curled up on the edges, and there's wear from your heels, and I think they're factory BMW ones, but you can just see they're pretty beat up, and there's a couple little cigarette burns and stuff like that from the previous owner. The Tack's pulling the engine out of the Miata again. Got this sweet Vyper chair built, full video on that. Some more of my brake components are here. So these are the rear rotors. The fronts are not yet. Unfortunately, ECS seems to be a real challenge to get anything from. They give you shipping deadlines or shipping estimates, and then they just push them back, push them back, push them back, push them back, push them back. It's been really frustrating to deal with them since COVID started. And I would like to blame it on COVID because I like ECS and I've used them for a long time, but I don't have those problems with FCP, with Obsessed Garage, with all these other carriers that I work with on a regular basis. It just seems like something with ECS, they're not getting it right. The engine is back in the Miata. Tack painted the valve cover, which didn't come out the best, honestly. There's like a bunch of bright spots and stuff here, but it's back together. It needs the ignition timing done, which is why the timing light is here. We're gonna work on that tonight. And I think he's got another valve cover. He's gonna send that out to get powder coated, so we'll just have one that's good. So we're getting back to being cleaned up and able to do things. As you can see, the Lumecube studio light in use there. I was building this Vyper chair. I really do like this Vyper chair, it's so good. Have to take this engine stand, put it in the storage unit. I just picked up this new liquid transfer pump. I'm gonna test it out. This is from AutoZone, it's a performance tool. I don't like the ones that try to screw into the bottle. They never have the right size neck. They don't screw onto every bottle. And so this is like a 2-hose transfer pump. It's got two 48-inch hoses. I'm not sure if it's gonna fit in the inlet on most transmissions though, so it should be interesting to try. We'll test it out, see how it works. These just came. So I've done a couple Nikes by you, like where you go on their website, you customize a pair and then they ship to you. So a normal pair of Nikes is like 140 to 160. These are like 165 when you do the by you, but you can kind of pick some really cool stuff. So I think I've got kind of the perfect shoe for all around use, especially with like car washing and working in the garage. So these are a Nike Air Zoom Pegasus 39 Shield by you. And by you just means you pick out the colors. But the important part is Shield. So Nike has this coating called Shield, which is like a coating that goes over the top of it, and it makes the shoes very hydrophobic. So if you're washing a hood and you dump a bunch of like soap on your front of your shoe, you don't get wet socks, which is awesome. And then they have two different types of tread. This one's called Storm, looks like that. And then they have another one that's like a grid pattern. They call it like Waffle Lug or something like that. And both of those are incredibly anti-slip. So like my driveway is painted, and when it gets wet, it's covered with soap and stuff like that. Like I can still walk around and not fall on my ass when I'm trying to wash my car. So it's super cool. It's called Wet Traction Rubber. And this is the Storm Tread, and that other one, the Waffle Tread, works awesome. So this is my third pair of Nikes. The other ones I have, they're just different colors. So anyway, check those out. So I got the Mini cleaned up yesterday for the first time in a while. I had some discoloring. You see this plastic, you can see like the ribs here. So I did the other side with this already, but I'm just gonna show this on camera. So I'm using a product, this is a 3M Trim Care, Restore, Condition, Protect. It's a 3D 711. I also have Chemical Guys Tire and Trim Gel, Chemical Guys VRP, and another product called Solution Finish. These can all kind of do this, deal with this problem. But basically, with the car clean, if you take one of these products and you apply it, you can restore this trim so that it doesn't look so bad. Using really any one of these products. So we're just taking a little bit, put it on here, and then just kind of rub it in. And you want to try to not to leave a lot of residue behind, because that residue is going to pick up dust. But this stuff's actually pretty good. Works really well. Okay, so here you can see the finished trim pieces all the way down the bottom, across the back. So came out really good. Pretty big difference from the lines that I was showing you at the beginning. Now, if this didn't work for me, I would use something like Solution Finish, which is more of like a black dye almost. I mean, it's a coating, but it's black. Some other products, so I use the 3D Trim Care 711. Some other products that work well for this is Chemical Guys VRP, Chemical Guys Tire and Trim Gel. I've used both of those in the past. You may notice that the Miata is no longer in the garage. Well, that's because it runs. So Tack got it all back together, took it out, driving around, everything seems good. He's gonna check it out and see if it still leaks oil. Realistically, the leak wasn't very big to begin with, but at this point, he's done the oil pan gasket, he's done an oil pump, he's done the front main seal, the rear main seal, the head gasket, and a valve cover gasket. So if it still leaks oil, I really don't know what it could be. You know, maybe the head just isn't sitting quite flat or something along those lines, but yeah, you know, we kind of threw everything at it. Hopefully it doesn't leak and we can move on and he can enjoy it a little bit more, drive it longer distances, you know, things like that. We are going to do a sound system in that car in the future, something basic, head unit speakers. I've got a couple other things going on. Was able to put together some hoodies, got some more shirts coming from a different company. My wood top for my other workbench, for this workbench right there, is here. So it'll match my long one, big gray. Still waiting on some brake parts for the Mini, and yeah, that's it. It's been a whole week. So next I'm gonna get the Honda washed, get the workbench top put on. I have a couple different Milwaukee tools on order, so we'll be testing those out. Pretty excited about that. I've got a new vacuum on the way, we'll test that out. Got a Mighty coming, so I can test that out. So should be a bunch of good content coming up. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you're having a great day.